Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? Well, I'm telling you, I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling great. I want to welcome everybody to living your best life now. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm living my best life now. I'm living out all of my dreams. Everything I wanted to do, I'm doing, and plus more that's coming. I want to thank everyone that's going to be watching this show tonight. I want to say hello to my dear husband that was the first one to come on. And Christopher and Marilyn Jones. I want to thank you guys for the first one to join us today. Hey, Celia, I'm sorry. Hi, Roy Wilson. Hello. How are you guys doing? Hey, I miss you guys. I know it was only 1 week, but I miss you anyway. I want you guys to know that this has been a great venture for me. Jacqueline, hi. And I want to thank God, especially. God, thank you, because I'm living out my dreams. And it's because I've decided that I am going to create my own happiness. I am going to live my life the way God created it to be. And a lot of us are not doing that. And this is why I started this show. I started this show because I want you to live your best life now. Now, when you die, not later on when things are getting so bad, then that's when you want to live your best life now. Hi, Thomasina. How are you? Audrey, Lilia, I miss you guys. And I have a great show for you. But before the show, I want to thank Darien. Darien is the province of Panama, and I was recently there with two of my colleagues, actually investors that want to be investing in Panama. And I will tell you, it was awesome. Number one, I want to thank the mayor del municipio de Pinogana in Darien. She hosted us. Nadine Gonzalez, I love you. I also want to thank David Capellan. Yes, David Capellan was the first person to invite me to Darien. I saw so many things, so many needs. The children just need so much things, you know? And I've been hunting for investors. I've been hunting for people that have that heart that want to help others. So if you want to join me on this project with Darien, please inbox me. There's so many opportunities there as well. You would not believe the opportunities that we have in Darien. Darien is considered, and I'm going to be honest with everyone, most Panamanians have never really been to Darien, and we're going to change that. And the culture is so rich there. There's so many things that Darien has to offer. And guess what? I'm going to make it possible. I am going to, and the Love, Truth, and Peace organization, that is my organization, we are going to do great things in Darien, and not just Darien, in the world. I am going to go from country to country, and I am going to make and encourage people to live their best life. But in order to do that, you also have to help them. You also have to talk about the necessities and the things. I'm going to say this openly. I am tired of us waiting for a government, okay, in order to give you something. It's not happening. We have to work together. We have to bring our schools up to par. Remember, you can drop your child at a school and it's filthy and nasty. Guess what? It's time for parents to go to the school and clean it up. My child is going to that school. It is time for us to come together. It is time for us to really, really think about our children and their future. So that's what I'm doing. My sons, they're 36 and 34 years old. So I cannot ignore, though, all the children that is presently need the support. So at the end of the show, I am going to talk about how you can help and how you can provide whatever you have, how you can help those kids and help the kids in the world. Because I have a big agenda. It is not just about Panama, it's about the world. And if we can just chip in a little bit to help these children, it's going to be awesome. First of all, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Look at y'all. Sharon, El King, Faith. I'm my baby, Faith. How are you? That's my daughter-in-law. How are you? And family. I'm going to tell you, this show is about family. And while I was gone, while I was in Panama, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All of you are always giving me the support. You're telling me, go Mel, do it. We're behind you. And I'm going to tell you, I thank all of you for that, because there are times that I am walking through that path and I get so tired, you know, and I'm saying to myself, okay, this is a little difficult for me. But you know what? Just by you guys saying, I love you, Mel, keep going, we're behind you. You know, I feel so good. You guys give me that energy, that strength, and I love it. I really love it. So I want to thank you guys for joining in. Jennifer, peace. Hi, Mama. Gary, you know you my brother. How are you guys doing? Okay, let's start this show. This show is a very important show because this show is about marriage. This show is about relationships. And how is it that we are going to work on these things? And the first thing I want to say to you is that there's a lot happening in the world today when it comes to relationships, when it comes to keeping a relationship and keeping it positive. There's so many things that we're dealing with, and we don't understand what we're dealing with. There's a power out there that wants to destroy relationships, that wants to destroy marriage. And I want you guys to know, because it's important for me, in order for you to keep your marriage together, in order to keep your relationship together, because the world will not continue if you are not together. You see, your children are dependent on you. The world is dependent on you. And if you can't keep that relationship together, and I really want you guys to listen to me tonight, because there's so much happening within your relationship, and you don't realize that a lot of times there's a negative force just stepping in and have you guys fighting and discussing about things. The next thing you realize, you're getting a divorce and you're saying, what happened? You know, what really happened? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Nobody's getting a divorce, and your relationships that you guys are having issue, we're going to fix it tonight, because I am sick and tired that we are making decisions and we're not thinking why these things are happening. And we have to focus on love, because that's important. Focusing on love is the key. And I want us to talk about that tonight. First of all, my marriage is my primary relationship. My marriage, me and Felipe and I. That is my primary relationship. But it's not the only relationship that I have. I have relationship with my friends. I have relationship, you know, with other people. But the primary one is the nucleus, which is my relationship with my husband. Number one, respect. Number one, trust. All these things are important in a relationship. Once you start seeing that falling apart, then you're going to have a problem. We have all heard the advice to never let the sun go down on your anger. Remember that? Parents tell you that? In other words, don't go to bed mad and wake up mad. But guess what? We do it. We do it because we forget about those principles. You see what I'm saying? We forget about what mom taught us, what dad taught us, what grandma taught us. But I'm going to tell you, it works. Oftentimes, and I'm going to talk about my relationship, because it's not easy Everybody think relationship is easy. No, it's not easy. We have to have an understanding that when you see a relationship is working, it's because we're working hard to make it work. It does not work on its own. Love is one thing, but then working on the relationship is another. Keeping that love presence, keeping everything intact, it takes work. So when you see Felipe and I are together, we're having fun and all these things, but we have issues. No relationship is perfect. I want to share some things with you tonight that hopefully will help you to build a much better positive relationship. This being said, before and after the marriage ceremony, we are so excited preparing for the marriage. I know a lot of people today that start fighting before the ceremony. Why? The stress, all the stress that you're going through in order for that one ceremony, for that one day. It takes 2 years to get prepared. And by the time it's there, you're fighting, you're arguing. We have to understand why we're going through that, because oftentimes we're doing things sometimes over our budget. Sometimes we're doing things that we really don't want to do, but we want to please the world. And I tell you what, stop it. Stop all of that stuff. Stop going through these things that you don't need to go through. I believe that all good marriages have conflict. Every single one of them, including mine. Being able to solve an issue and put it to rest is one of the things that I believe makes for a good marriage. When you have a problem, and I'm guilty, trust me, I am guilty at this. Oftentimes we might have an issue and I cannot let it rest. I'm poking and poking and poking. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what, this is the issue. Let's resolve the issue and let's move on. You see, we women, we want to just keep poking, and then we'll sit down and see the mind is going. And you're like, okay, but I didn't say this to him. I didn't ask him this. Well, Felipe, what about this? And what about that? I know he's in the other room laughing at me right now. And then he would say, well, mommy, I thought we talked about this. I thought we talked about this before. And this is me. But yes, something else just came up. Let it rest. Picking up from there without holding grudges is a way to build up and not break down a marriage. Leave it alone. Make sure that when you're discussing whatever you're discussing, whether he cheated on you, whether he made you mad, whatever it may be, you better make sure you write down a whole list of things so you don't forget, and then talk about it. And guess what? Finish it. Move on to the next step. Oftentimes, we're prolonging a situation when we don't need to prolong. And I know my husband is inside there going, yes, because I reached that conclusion that keep poking and poking, things get worse. It's time to celebrate your life. You cannot continue to celebrate if you keep poking on things that you should have resolved a year ago, 2 years ago. Speak up, communicate. You're not communicating. Oftentimes, we do not communicate about what we want. Women, if your husband is not doing something that you want him to do, just tell him. Don't always assume that he knows what you want. I am good at that. I tell Felipe what I want. I tell Felipe how I want it done, and vice versa. If I want to go to the movies and I want to go somewhere else first, I go, Felipe, let's go here. Let's do this first. Let's do that, and then go to the movies. Oftentimes, we are assuming our husband are mind readers, and they are supposed to figure out what we want. It is time for women to stop assuming, and then when he doesn't comply with you, you get upset. You get angry. You start talking about, you don't care about me. You don't love me. Guess what? He's not a mind reader, and she's not a mind reader. You cannot expect your husband, your wife, to do certain things that you might want her to do. Picking up that whole issue and put it on the side, do it. Grudges. Without holding grudges. We hold grudges, and those grudges is going to break up the marriage. It's a way to build up, not break down a marriage. Resilience, endurance, understanding, giving, compassion, and forgiveness are the keys to keep a marriage and a relationship positive. Are you guys listening to me? Those qualities and more contribute to a healthy, long marriage that will make it through many painful situations in life. It is time for us to make a change in our relationship. No matter what obstacles, listen to me, no matter what obstacles you face in your relationship, with perseverance and determination, hope for the future, and especially love. See, love is not about just verbally talking about, I love you, baby. No, you have to work at it. You have to show her and show him the love that you have for each other. You can overcome any forces that try to derail your marriage or your relationship. You need to fight for your relationship. You need to fight for your marriage. Why? Because your family depends on it. Your children depends on it. Even your co-workers, because when you go to work and you're mad at your husband, you're mad at everybody. When you're mad at your wife, you're mad at everybody. Everybody have to deal with your anger. Everybody have to deal with your attitude because you're having problems at home. It is time to change those ways of being and keep a positive marriage. Things that ruin your marriage. Let me talk about that because that's very important. Things that ruin your marriage. I would like some of you that's listening to me right now to kind of type out some of the things you think that would ruin marriage because you've had experience before. And that also is going to help those that are watching the show. And of course, I need you guys to help me in this topic tonight because this topic is destroying our families and is destroying the world. You will not imagine that a child is going to school and he sees a mother and father together and he's only seeing mom or he's only seeing dad. It is going to affect that child. So that's why it's important to not ruin a relationship based on the little things. Just the little things we can destroy our relationship and marriage. Let's talk about how we ruin our relationship. Holding grudges is one. Not talking to each other for weeks or for months. Forgiveness is important. Trust me, not only in a relationship, but in all parts of your life. Holding that grudge what happens, I would tell you, the children are watching what you are doing. And they are going to grow up the same way, holding grudges with their boyfriends or with their husbands. Because they are going to pick up everything. They're watching you, so they are going to take that and bring it into their relationship as well. Work on these things. Taking every little things personally, it ruins the relationship. Being unnecessarily critical of your husband or your wife, it ruins the relationship. Always passing blame. The blame. Let me tell you something about the blame. When you have a problem with your spouse, whatever the issue may be, stop blaming each other and stop making it where you have to be right. I used to be that one. I had to be right. But you know what I discovered? It's not about being right or wrong. It's about fixing that issue. Because we have a sense that we always want to walk out of a conversation winning and not even listening to your husband or to your wife. You're just waiting for her to stop talking and then you present your issue. No, listen to her, listen to him. Because the issue is, it's not about being right and wrong, my people. It's about fixing that relationship. Stop blaming each other and sit down and correct the problem. If you cannot correct the problem, some people might say, go and see a counselor. If you feel comfortable with having a third person involved, then do it. Because sometimes we find ourselves battling something, and when a third person come in, we can see straight. And that recently happened where I counsel a couple, and they were going back and forth. And I stepped in, and I just said, it took 5 minutes. And guess what? They worked it out. So sometimes we're not paying attention to what our spouse is saying, especially men. And I'm going to say this, men, I'm talking to you right now. Listen to me. When a woman is talking to you, listen. Listen. And notice when she repeats herself over and over and over, it's because you weren't listening. And you're not listening. That's why we repeat ourselves. And then you say, you are annoying me, but we are not annoying you. We're telling you what we're feeling, but you're not responding to that. We're telling you what we want. You're not responding to that. We're telling you what we believe. You're not responding to that. We're telling you how to fix something. You're not responding to that. So guess what? We become annoying to you. That is the reality. You're saying we're talking too much. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is, if you were listening, we wouldn't have to be repeating ourselves over and over and over again. There's something that I want to say in correspondence with what I just said. When I first met my husband, Felipe, I know he's going to kill me after the show, but I have to talk about these things. When as you can see, I love to talk. So I would be talking about history and all sorts of things, right? And then as I'm talking, he would be little by little, he's walking away. Next thing you know, Felipe's in the other room. And I know he's in the other room going, yeah, I did that. But he would be in the other room. And I brought it to his attention. I said, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like the fact that when I'm talking to you, you are walking and walking and walking. So I brought it to his attention and we discussed it. So now when I'm talking, he stands there still and he's listening to me. Oh my God, he makes my life so happy just to listen to me. The idea is that we have to work together. We have to learn to accommodate each other because I want him happy, and of course he wants me happy too. So it's called compromising. You see, we don't compromise. There's a lot of things that's going on in relationship. It's because you're not compromising. Don't start when you pretending that you're listening to the person. That's a no-no, because the next day you will bring it up and the person have no clue what you was talking about. That makes us mad. That makes anybody angry, you see. So if you don't want to listen to that person in that moment, let them know, you know what, let's talk about this tomorrow. What can we do? Be honest, because these are the things that's going to ruin your relationship. Don't worry about what I would say, don't worry, but at least telling the person the truth is the key. That is the key. We have to be open with each other. We have to be honest with each other, and we're not. And these are the things that is going to ruin our relationship. Let go of that pursuit of vindication. That's another one. And concentrate on connecting and being understood by your partner. That is important. Don't assume your partner wants you to fix something. That is another one. It's understandable that what you want to find a solution to a problem quickly. However, people do not always want solutions. Sometimes they just want an open air. You see, if you offer a solution or tell your spouse to not worry about something, then you are closing off communication. You have to have that open communication, you see. And another thing, trust. I want to talk about the trust because the trust is one of the key things in relationship. If you don't trust your husband and you don't trust your wife, is a nightmare, because constantly you are going to you're going to go crazy, literally. As soon as she walks out the door, you're thinking, oh my God, is she with somebody? Where is she going? Who is she going with? What is she going to be doing? That's a nightmare in itself. So if you don't trust your wife, you need to talk to your wife. You guys need to figure out what is it that you can do to fix that situation, because trust is the key to a relationship. You can tell your wife all day that you love her, but if you don't trust your wife, if you don't trust your husband, that is a problem. Don't try to push their buttons. You see, that is another topic. Do not try. You know, when we get into arguments, you know, you're trying to find something that you know that's going to aggravate that person. You just know what is going to aggravate that person. That's why I do not, and I'm going to be honest with you, I do not show too much of my weaknesses. Because if I do, that's what's going to happen. I thank God today, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I thank the Lord that Felipe and I do not have much arguments. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we have an open communication. I talk about everything. Everything that bothers me, I talk about it. So that avoids arguments. If Felipe does something and it bothers me, immediately I tackle it. I don't sit there and wait for weeks and for him to do it over and over. As soon as he's doing something, I would say to him, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like what you're doing. You see, so that avoids. And I'm going to tell you something that when I first met Felipe, according to Felipe, I don't know how to drive. And he still say, I don't know how to drive. I've been driving since I was 16. But then that's what he believes. So when I first came to Miami and I was in a car and he would be, no, don't do this. And he only did it two times. He did it 2 times. And you know what I did? I stopped the car and I looked at Felipe and I said, I tell you what, from now on, as long as you are in this car, I'm not going to drive the car anymore. You are going to drive me around. And guess what? That solved that problem. And I told him also, the only time I am going to drive, he's laughing somewhere there, the only time I am going to drive this car is if you're having a heart attack or if you just can't drive and I have to drive you to the emergency room. I never drove that car again while Felipe is in the car, and that was like 8 years ago. And guess what? We never had an argument about it. You know why? I avoided that issue. I don't want in the car every day or whenever we're driving, no, don't go there. No, somebody's behind you. No, you just avoid that situation. So what I'm saying to you is, whatever your wife or your husband is doing that is bothering you, fix it in that moment. You won't have another argument. We never had another argument about that situation, you see. So my point is, relationship is not easy. It is not easy, but I know that we can fix things before it happens. Stop comparing your relationships with others. Oh my God. That is another one that is ruining your relationship, and you have to stay positive. If you continue to compare your relationship with others, guess what? Your relationship is not going to ever get fixed. Why? It's because You're totally different from that other couple. You don't know what makes them tick. You don't know. You know what? Another thing, they might be nice to each other in public, but fighting indoors, privately. You see? So never compare yourself with any other couple as of today, because you don't know their situation. Your job is to fix yours. Whatever you're seeing, for example, if you see this man open the door for your, which this happened to us before, someone, we went to visit someone, and Felipe always opened the car door for me, and always when I'm going in and when I'm coming out. So this woman saw that, and she looked at her husband and said, well, how come you don't do that for me? And he said to her, I've never done it, so why start now? So my point to you is, if you want your husband to do certain things or your wife to do certain things, don't wait till 20 years later. Don't wait till 10 years later to bring it up. Start from the beginning. You are a queen and you should be treated as such. You are a king and you should be treated as such. So don't wait till 20 years to see something's going on and then you want to make that change in that moment. In other words, this man have never opened the door for you, and all in a sudden you want him to do so. Now, if you want him, and if you feel that you deserve that he should open the door for you, when you get home, you talk about it, but don't present it in that moment. You say, you know what? That was nice that he opened the door for her, and I never thought about being treated that way. Do you think that you could do that for me? And I believe that the man probably will, or in whatever situation. But don't embarrass him in front of others. We have a tendency, some women, not all women, to embarrass their husbands in front of others. If you want to have a positive relationship, don't do that. Don't embarrass your wife in front of others. Don't embarrass your husband in front of others. Celebrate your husband. Celebrate your wife. You understand? That's where you're supposed to show kindness and love the most, when you are out in public. Not embarrass him. You know, be kind and honest, and have those honest communication with each other. Without talking, your relationship will not survive. There's so many relationships that the women, and this happened a lot to men, that women want to have a conversation with their husband and they shut down. And you can't fix anything being shut down. So men, that you know that you shut down, and what I'm saying is true, open up. Because you cannot have a positive relationship and not communicate with your wife. And that goes the other way as well. Women, open up. Have that conversation with your husband. The more you communicate, the closer you will be. And that's why I believe that Felipe and I have a good relationship, because we are constantly celebrating, we're constantly communicating and talking about whatever is bothering us. The willingness to work through difficulties and disagreements is the key. You have to sit down, go for a walk, do something and sit down, go for a coffee and say, babe, these are the list of things that's been bothering me. And can we talk about it? And then you will discover that he has a list too once you start talking. Throwing in the towel, even if you don't walk out the door, is not the path to happiness. There are couples that live in like brothers and sisters today. Like brothers and sisters. You're in, you're out, you don't communicate. You can fix those things, you know. You can fix those things. Oftentimes we think we cannot fix things. Yes, you can. You must face the discomfort. Comes with different opinions and ideas. You have to sit down and try to fix it. Now, there are marriages that don't have no fixing at all. None whatsoever. They're ready to go their own different way. Well, that's your path. But those of you that are together and you're finding that you're having some type of difficulties, work at it. Work at it. Just as we need to breathe to survive, your love needs a breathe of fresh air to flourish. Remember that. Giving your relationship what it needs to thrive is a truly loving gesture. Work at it. You cannot spend all your free time just working day in and day out. Take time for your relationship, sharing life lessons with the one you love. All those things is a way of bonding with each other. You see, emotional support. When she needs that emotional support, when she needs you to say, baby, job well done. My husband, Felipe, he receives me every time I travel with flowers. Do you know what that does? It makes me feel beyond being a queen, because I am a queen. But it makes me feel so good. It gives me that love. It refreshes everything that we are going through. Emotional support, that's the key. You have to lift each other up and let each other know the depth of your caring. This is not just about you. You want your wife to do everything for you. Cook, clean, take care of the kids, go to work, come back. And you sitting there on the couch watching football? No, it has to be equal. The love has to be there. This is not just about caring for each other. This is about love. This is about intimacy. This is about romance. When last did you romance your wife and your husband? When last did you do that? Start now. Start now. Look at her and tell her, baby, I love you. Baby, I need you. Take her out this weekend. Do something nice for her. Do something nice for him. Send them those little notes. Do those great things that you should be doing. These are the cornerstones of a loving relationship. You see, being great roommates just won't cut it, honey. There has to be the desire to be together as a couple, as a marriage, in a relationship. You may think the spark has gone, but there are too many ways to rekindle a relationship. All you have to do is try. All you have to do is communicate. If you see that your marriage is falling apart or your relationship is falling apart, rekindle it. Get the candles and light it up. Get some wine or some juice, whatever you might want, and rekindle that relationship through communication. You see, make sure you always have something to look forward to, the two of you, and you are pursuing it as a couple. You know, sometimes when you have a project together, you notice how you can come together because you're both working on it and you're both doing things together. Find a project. Find a project and do it together. You see, remember, compassion, acceptance, and forgiveness is the key. These will show you the way through a difficult time. If you are together, let me tell you something. If you are together for a while, there will be losses, challenges, and some things that you just cannot fix. Weathering the storms together is a big part of what relationships are all about. Fight. Go through the storms. I know a lot of couples today, you know, people tell me, Mel, you travel all the time. When do you spend time with your husband? I said, the first thing of all, my time is quality time. What's yours? Many couples are together today, day in and day out. They don't go anywhere. They don't do nothing. Anything. They don't do anything. But my time is quality time. When we are together, it's all about quality time. Spend time, but spend time in quality time. Couples who share new experiences together develop a strong bond. Share those experiences with each other. Being able to admit mistakes, please, and to talk about them is the key. We all make mistakes. Learning to understand and let go of mistakes that you or your partner make will turn your life around and give you more time for joy. So, my dear people, I want to say to you tonight that relationship and marriage is the key to this world. Because if we keep falling apart, remember this, if we keep falling apart in our relationship, there's not going to be a world anymore. Because we are the one, the marriages, we are the one that's keeping this world going. In relationship, you keeping this world going. Because when we come together with love. And we need to share that love in the world. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Are you guys still there? I don't hear or see anybody. Are you there? Because love is the key to this world, and we are going to change this world. I want you guys to start thinking about how you are going to make a change in this world by just couples coming together, by just marriages coming together. Because see, when you come together as one, your children are going to also be out there watching what you're doing. And then they're going to go and share that in school, share that at work. They're going to share that love because that's what they're receiving at home. But if you are in a turmoil at home, when they go out in the world, it is also going to be a turmoil. So believe it or not, keeping a family together is the key to make a change in this world. My job today, it is to bring the family together. It is to bring nations together. It is to bring us all together, no matter where you're from, no matter what color you are. We are to bring the world together. That is an assignment that I am going to give the world tonight. Let's continue to bring the world together. And how we're going to do it, we're going to start working in our relationship. We're going to start working on the things that is keeping us apart. And my job, it is to bring you close together. I want you to live the best life that you can now. Don't let the little things break up your marriage or your relationship. Sit down tonight and talk about the things that you can fix. Start with the little things first and then get to the big things. Or if you want to start with the big things and come down to the little things, whatever pleases you, but work on it. Do something about it. Stop sitting back waiting for the world to do something. That's why when I went to Darien, and Darien is a province of Panama, and now I have a great mission, not just for Darien, but for those that need help in Colón and in Colombia. I am getting ready now to go to Buenaventura in Colombia, El Salvador, and I am going to bring those women together. It's a women conference in El Salvador on October 6th, and you can look it up on my Facebook. But when I get to El Salvador, a mi gente en El Salvador, yo los quiero. I love you. But my job, those women, when they come in, I am going to show them the love that they deserve. I am going to tell them, love each other, work with each other. Do the things that you have to do in order to change this world. Because we can. We cannot depend on governments anymore to change anything. We have to do it. We have to come together. When I go to Buenaventura coming up, we are going to make the changes. What changes? When I was in Ethiopia, believe it or not, the young people in Ethiopia now, we have organized, and we are organizing now to do trade, to talk about the social issue. I am going to empower them. I am going to inspire them. And that is what we have to do. Don't sit back and watch the world moving. I want you to be part of what we are supposed to do, what God intended for us to do. And that is not to sit back and wait for things to happen, but that is for you to take your purpose and all that love that you have within you and start sharing it with those around you. You see, God is using me, and I know He's using me because He's opening up so much doors, and things are so, I can't believe how easy it has become. But one of the things that I want you to remember tonight, work on your relationship. Don't give up so easy. Don't give up. Don't let those women out there make you think that the grass is greener on the other side. Think about years ago when you look at that woman and you said, that is the woman for me. There was a reason why you said that. I want you also, my lady, that when you go back in time and you first met your husband and you looked at him and you say, that's the man for me. I want you to think about that moment. Think about those moments. And if things have gone so bad, then there might be nothing that you can do but go to God. Ask God. Please ask God to give you the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding to fix whatever you need to fix. But we all have to come together as one. And I want to thank all of you for watching my show tonight. I have some announcement that I want to make, and I hope that you are in a place right now where you're happy. But those of you that are not, I want you to follow your heart, and I want you to do the things that God wants you to do, and make sure that you work together as one. These are the announcements that I want to make. When I was in Darien, and I also went to Cologne, I saw the conditions there. And this message, first, I'm going to direct this message to Panamanians first. I want to say, first of all, my organization is called Love, Truth, and Peace. And I took 2 investors from Africa to Darien. And they are now helping me and helping the organization to go back to Darien and provide all the necessary, not all, but the necessary things Darien need. I want you to join us. We are getting ready to get a container, and anything that you can think of, clothes, toys, books, just whatever you can think of, underwears, anything, and donate to us, to Love, Truth, and Peace organization. We are getting ready to revolutionize poverty, because we should not have poverty in this manner when we can just donate few couple of dollars. So tonight, I'm asking you to donate $25 to our organization. The information is on Facebook. And if you would like to inbox me as well, you are welcome to do so. I am going to donate my book. For those that donate $50, I am going to send them my book. I am going to donate it to you. And the proceeds are going to help the youth. It's going to help those that need. And I hope, remember also that I have also the 501c3 that you can write it off on your taxes. For those of you that knows I have a Chase account, the Chase Quick Pay with Zelle, you can donate also at that at Chase. And also I have a PayPal. All that information is on the Facebook. Why I'm doing this, and as you know, this is the first time that I'm doing this here on this show. I'm doing this because I realized I cannot do it by myself. And I didn't want to bother anybody, but I know that if we all come together, we can make a dent and a difference in the world. So this is why the Love, Truth, and Peace organization is traveling around the world, helping the youth, helping the children, and helping all those that need a hand. So, and all of you that would like to, those of you that would like to email me as well, My email is Melida, Melida, Barrow, Barrow 14 at gmail.com. My website is www.melidaharrisbarrow.com, melidaharrisbarrow.com. I want to thank all of you tonight because the most important things I want to say is that I love you. And those of you that have retired, and please, you want to do something for someone, join me on this crusade because I do believe that God sent me out here. I am doing all that I can, but I cannot do it by myself. I need you. I need you to join me. I need you to encourage me. And I just need that support for the people. So I love you. I love you. I love you. And I thank you for watching Living Your Best Life Now, because I want you to begin to live your best life now. And also, I want to show you the book that I wrote, Unveiling the Illusion, is in English. And also, I have the Spanish version, Desvelando la Ilusión. This book changed many lives, and it's going to continue to change many, many lives. And I thank you for watching Living Your Best Life Now. Again, you can go on my Facebook. You can see the PayPal there. You can donate $25 to go towards helping the youth in the world, and also some of the issues that I discover in Darien, in Ethiopia, and God knows what I'm going to discover in Colombia coming up soon. So let's do this together. Thank you, and may God bless you. Mwah, 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 and I love you. Bye-bye.